As you all know, annually on the 8th of March, the world commemorates International Women's Day. Women all over the world look forward to and celebrate this day. On the 9th of February 2021, a month ago, when the Democratic Party Women's League addressed the weekly press conference here, the women Democrats demanded that the state should immediately put out the report to all Ugandans about all Ugandans killed during campaigns and the circumstances of their deaths. We also we demanded the government should make public the names of those who were arrested during campaigns and the crimes they committed. Those in detention and suspected of crimes should immediately be brought to court for justice to prevail. All those unknown places of custody be released immediately and unconditionally, and to stop immediately the arbitrary, politically motivated arrests and unlawful detention of Ugandans and fellow lawful processes to handle those suspected of criminal acts. We gave the state a deadline calling for a response to our demands by this year's International Women's Day, 8th of March, which was yesterday, or we would demonstrate for that matter. Our press release was followed by several actors raising their voices to support politicians, religious leaders, cultural leaders, civil society organizations, and members of parliament. Since then, much pressure has come to bear on the state, and we are beginning to see action being taken. However, the discussions at the recent IPOD summit and the ongoing proceedings in the parliament indicate that the wheels of justice are finally beginning to move. We are following all the steps being taken intently. In accordance with this year's international theme, the Women Democrats challenge the state to 1. Respect the rule of law, protect, promote, and fulfill human rights, and demonstrate goodwill and commitment to gender equality and equity. The DP women did not celebrate International Women's Day. Why? And these are reasons. And we abide to that as the Democratic Party Women's League, why we did not celebrate the International Women's Day. DP women did not celebrate International Women's Day this year because we were standing in solidarity with our sisters who are bewildered, sad, or mourning. Our sisters are in great pain over the situations they find themselves in following the politically motivated arrests, brutalizations, and death of their loved ones. We will, however, celebrate all the women who have made positive contributions to families, communities, and the nation in many different ways. We are especially proud of the resilience the Ugandan women have shown in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic and the heroes that have helped and continue to help our communities survive. We remember and celebrate those that have lost the fights against COVID-19, including our own Honorable Robina Sentongo, woman MP for Chotera District, due to cancer and other health complications. The pandemic exposed the loopholes in our health system. We accordingly challenge the state to pay special attention to the health sector. Now, if you're sane enough, dear Ugandans, you'll ideally agree with us, the women of Democratic Party, that it wasn't due for us to celebrate the International Women's Day. Because if up to now we are still having these health sectors in such a state, and many women are still dying, do we really have anything to celebrate? No. our renewed call to democracy-seeking processes in Uganda. The Democratic Party renews its call to all democracy-seeking processes in Uganda to work towards the country we want to live in. Political contestation does not have to be acrimonious. Negative propaganda against each other is counterproductive in the circumstances we find ourselves in. The Democratic Party calls upon all democracy-seeking political parties and formations to show Ugandans that the spirit of tolerance and civility is possible in any political context, and that it is possible to have unity in diversity. We therefore invite you all to engage in a genuine dialogue that puts our country above our partisan interests. And we are still going to uphold these processes until we get back to where we want to be. The demonstration you can participate on is only when it is in line with your objectives. The ideal situation right now here is, as women, first of all, we have a lot of challenges. We've talked about the issues of health. We've talked about issues of our different political actors being abducted. And we are trying to follow the subsequent procedures to see that justice prevails. But when the worst comes to the worst, like we said, we shall. And we were the first people, by the way, if you remember 1 month ago, we were the first persons to say, if these people are not brought to book, we shall demonstrate. But again, today we respond to you that some of the responses are coming. But again, on what is going on social media, as the structures of the party, we haven't sat down and we haven't yet got such notice to our table.
You don't see any official demonstration?
Like I said, demonstration only comes in when you have your objectives, you've sat down. We have the party structures we need to follow. We cannot just demonstrate because so and so has gone on social media that there need to be a demonstration. Any political party has leadership. Well, as opposition also, we are not happy and we are not contented with what's taking place in the country. We can only act when the time comes, but we don't act on rumors. The Women's League and Ugandans at large, when we have ghost lists going around and about that was submitted to Parliament, a gentleman in the names of Abdul Omar from Museveni was one of the persons on the list, and yet this gentleman was actually put on the list because they just wanted to raise the numbers, and yet this is a gentleman who was involved in a different issue on the cases of land. So, it is not the first time we are having issues to deal with the ghost list in this country. We even saw on the issues of salary, where we've been having ghost teachers. We've been seeing issues of ghost salary for soldiers, or UPDF for that matter, and pensioners. Up to date, we haven't brought this to book. Now, I think the junta government is taking advantage of such situations, which we are not going to accept. At an available time, we shall sit down to avail to you the official list after verifying with the different state actors and the political actors in this country. Thank you.